for the LaDonna Ray Show. For exclusive interviews right here. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet.
Is it Sugar Ray?
Nah.
Lisa Ray?
No.
D Ray? No.
It's time for
The LaDonna Ray Show.
I'm so shy.
The one and only sexy mama, LaDonna Ray. Welcome to the LaDonna Ray Show.
Hey, it's your girl LaDonna Ray, and you are watching the LaDonna Ray Show. This is where we talk to content creators from all across the globe. And it's just such a beautiful situation to be a platform where people's music can get heard, their comedy can be heard, and so on and so forth. It just depends on what their specialty is and what their content is. But these people are verifiable content creators. And what I mean by verifiable is that we looked into it and found that they actually had content out there to be shown. All right, you all, but let's get to our guest, today's special guest that's on the LaDonna Ray Show. He goes by no genre. He is simply, as he puts it, a recording artist. You all, let's give it up for Young Tute. Hey, Young Tute.
I got a story to tell. What's happening?
You got a story to tell.
Yes, man.
I know that's right. So, I had to reach out to you because your song is so compelling, especially in today's, music and ears and people, everybody being on the emails and social media, YouTube, and you came out with this one. But I'm gonna tell everybody the name of it in just a few. But tell us who you are as an artist, Young Tute.
So me as an artist, I first have to give you a little background. So my father was an audio engineer. So he brought me up in the church, teaching me the boards and how things are supposed to sound, regardless of if it's music or conversation. So me as an artist is just a person trying to do his best to tell his story. And sometimes it's not even my personal story, it's stories that I've witnessed, people I've been around, situations that I got put in, situations that I made it out of. So I'm glad you said recording artist and not a rapper, because I'm not a rapper. I do music. I like to say that if you approach me saying you a rapper, I'm already done with the conversation, because you just put yourself in a box. I don't even like boxes. I used to box, but I don't like boxes. So I just want to be a poet. At the end of the day, I started off doing poetry as well. So I just want to tell that story in a way that everybody can pick up on, and it's not just for this genre, for this type of people, for this audience. I want to touch them all.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you don't want to be labeled as a rapper, but if someone comes up to you and calls you a rapper, it's because they don't know. They simply don't know what other category to put you in. What is your definition of a rapper?
A rapper is somebody who they just can rap. 9 times out of 10, a lot of people's favorite rappers don't write, so they can't even be a singer-songwriter. They just are a rapper. They're just here to say the words in a way that everybody likes to listen. That's cool. No knock on that. If that's your lane, then cool. You found your lane. I'm glad for you. I'm happy for you. But that's just not my lane. I like to do it all. Like I'll produce the beat. I'll engineer it. I'll rap, sing. I'll ukulele on that thing. But I just want to make the whole song. I want to make it complete. Whether I have help or whether I do it by myself, I just want to make it complete.
And your thoughts on rappers that are called rappers that sing, like, for instance, you got Drake that's dropping lyrics throughout his music. How do you feel about his music?
See, now we getting into the controversy, because I'm not a Drake fan. And I tell people every day I do not like Drake. And it's not the fact that he sings on his music. He's moved into a situation where his music doesn't speak to me anymore. So I just don't like it because it doesn't speak to me. I can't discredit the man. I can't say anything bad about him. But Drake is just not for me. But there are a lot of artists that do rap and sing, or mainly sing, but it's kind of like rapping. that I love. It talks to me. The frequency hits. It hits me in a different way than just a rapper would or just a hip hop artist would. It's a certain sound that pierces your ear and gets down into the heart, into the soul that you just can't deny.
Yeah, I totally get it. And what is your? I know that you're a father. You got a 1-year-old son.
Yeah.
Is he already trying to drop some lyrics?
Oh, he's in the studio the whole time. If I'm in the studio, he's in the studio. So it's funny that you asked that. The other day, we were in the studio, and I usually work with my whole team, AMG Sounds, Atmospheric Music Group. And a lot of the times we're just sitting there freestyling or throwing ideas off of each other. And he walks in the middle of the circle where we rapping, and he's just throwing out sounds, and it seems like it's to a beat. So I think he's already picking up on it. He actually has more studio equipment in my house than I do. So I know he likes the pianos and the drums and the sounds of it, but he might throw a few words out there in a couple of years. He might do it.
Nice, nice. And I think that that's a good thing, because when you're passionate about something and your children see your passion, they understand what passion looks like.
Right.
If they don't see your passion, and then when you ask them, what's your passion, son? What's your passion? And they're like, I don't know, because they have nothing to refer back to when it comes to having passion for anything. They didn't get to see it, but you're showing your son what passion looks like.
Exactly. Whatever you love, you need to push forward. You can do other things to take you from point A to point B, but if you love it, you can't let it go. You gotta hold on to it. You gotta hug it. You gotta kiss it. You gotta make it feel your love, and it's gonna reciprocate.
I love it. And so you've got this amazing song called Snapchat.
What's poppin', Chi-Town? You are now tuned in to my girl LaDonna Ray on the LaDonna Ray Show, and you listening to my song Snapchat. Let's go.
Cartel.
Hey, hoops, this shit crazy. Jimmy catch her by the check.
Hey, I got a story to tell. I was on Snapchat and this app had my niggas going to jail. This little group chat was a smash, a bullet and kicking some flavor. A whole lot of gang shit was involved, no beefing, just getting to paper. Then I got a call from one of you niggas, pull up and let's ball with all of you niggas. Shit, I had been popping shit so long that I couldn't fall for none of the tricking. Yeah, I had a girlfriend at the time, still had all these hoes pulling out their titties. Don't think that my main chick didn't know. She told me straight up, if the hoe was pretty, pull up to Kentucky, riding in the bucket, Malibu to Chevy. Shit was looking very, very, very scary. We got rolled like goddamn, that was the 4th time this trip. We was so blown, free take cake, had to hit Quando for the flip. Cousin on papers, couldn't leave the state. That's what they said, but we still dip. Touchdown, Dairy Queen. We brought everything. Looking back, damn nigga, just damn, I was really selling dreams. Since I was on every team, I ain't have a wedding ring. Trying to hold the cheddar, make a couple moves, looking for the better cheese. Like, hey, I got a story to tell. I was on Snapchat and this app had my niggas going to jail. This little group chat was a smash, a bullet and kicking some flavor. A whole lot of gang shit was involved, no beefing to getting to paper. Shit got lit quick, hold on, ran through a zip quick. Strong to a house party, had a little dip looking like Sydney. She wasn't bout shit, move on. Brianna Brown chick, big bone. She throwing ass in every video that I had in my phone. Still getting loaded, sipping on hooch. Met the chick again, pumped off the juice. Whole lot of pussy, not a lot of pooch. Heard she connected like glue. Nigga had to check Nike jumpsuit. She threw me a car, just strength of the dick, bust another nut. Let me get two. Like, ayy. I got a story to tell. Niggas got jealous tryna make $1. This when it start going to hell. Had the cop a demon, call me Mr. Freeman. I'm glad I'm not touching the seal. My nigga had single-handedly caught a 1-3 nigga up there. Like, hey. I got a story to tell. I was on Snapchat and this app and my niggas going to jail. This little group chat was a smash, a bullet and kicking some flavor. A whole lot of gang shit was involved, no beefing to getting to paper.
Now, I'm just, here's my thing. When it comes to Snapchat, there's just so many words that you can play on when you're talking about social media in a song. Tell us about the process in making Snapchat.
The process in making Snapchat was the easiest process of any of my songs because it was just the story that I lived through, and I just had to figure out which details I wanted to share with the world and which details people already knew about the situation. So it was actually a song that I did not want to make just because the time in my life where the situations happened, I was not in the best place. I wasn't in the best mindset. I wasn't strung out on drugs or anything like that, but it was just one thing just kept leading to another, and it all boiled down to Snapchat. So I just called it Snapchat.
And that's one. So I teach social media at Illinois Media School and also to Miami students. And that is the one social media platform or channel that I stay away from. I am not a Snapchatter, but just recently they rolled out the cameos. Have you played around with that yet?
No, since that situation, I've kept away from Snapchat. Snapchat got me in a lot of trouble. So,
wait a minute. Wait, we're not gonna breeze over the trouble. What's the trouble that you got into on Snapchat?
That's what the whole Snapchat song is about. Hey, I got a story to tell. I was on Snapchat and this app and my people going to jail. Real is real. As they say, no cap.
I'll be using my words. Man, I'm telling you, I really, here's one thing. I know that, having songs that have a shelf life is very dangerous. But I think that for your song, it tells a story. It kind of reminds me of Slick Rick when he talked about, bedtime story. And when it comes to, just using this particular channel, heck, in 20 years, it'll be something else, but everyone will remember when it was Snapchat, even if they never got a chance to use it, if it's not around anymore. But I like the way that you use your lyricism to explain exactly what happened. You were very specific as to where it took place. So, but there's more songs that you have that actually pierce our ears and says, wait a minute, this is gonna hang in there real tough. But I gotta ask you about being an independent artist. With you being an independent artist, and you look at those that are winning not Emmy awards, they're winning Grammy awards, and those are artists that are signed. What is your thought process when you say I'm going to stay independent versus becoming a signed artist?
I think that kind of boils down to a certain person's mindset. So I don't do this for the recognition from everybody else, even though I appreciate it. I love being on shows like the LaDonna Ray Show. I love doing interviews. I love being on podcasts and making music and getting the response that I do now. But I make it for me. It's a stress reliever. It's a way to express myself in a different way than I can just by regularly having a conversation with somebody or just sitting in their presence. So I honestly could care less about the Grammys and it being really recording artists based that are signed and not independent, because my independency just means that I'm getting to put my all into it. I'm not half-assing it. I'm not doing it 25% or 75%. I'm going past 100 and I'm putting my all into it. So when I get feedback or when I get the recognition that I do, I love every bit of it, whether it's one person or 100 million. Those people who are getting their Grammys is just telling the world they have this many people that's doing their recognition. That's cool. Show your Grammy, have your Grammy, sit it in your house, enjoy it, love it. Like I said, hug it, kiss it, make it feel that love. But for me, I like being in the streets. I like the people telling me instead of somebody just giving me a award and saying, yo, the people said this. But they didn't tell it to me. I don't get to feel it. I just see y'all saying that they gave it to me. So, I mean, it is what it is, and it's cool because I have contracts on the table now, thanks to people like you and other people giving me my respect and giving me my roses. But even now I'm still hesitant because I don't want it to be flawed. Because if I'm doing something so great to where it allows people to come to me and say, "Yo, I need you here. I want you here. We love what you're doing. If you love me so much, let me keep doing it." Like, no offense, just let me keep doing it. Give me your input, give me your feedback, love me, show it, tell other people about me, and I'll do the same for you. But I like the independence.
Isn't that something?
I like having that control.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, we can have digital equity in one another. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to just say, "Hey, I like it." And when somebody says they like it, other people, they take interest to it, and then they like it, and so on and so on,
Awesome.
and but your music is definitely something to be liked, because you are a very talented individual. Like, you don't need me to say that. It's just that when I heard your music and I heard the way that it was laid out, you know what I'm saying? It was laid out beautifully. And there are a lot of times when music is played and people just want to get it out there, get the mixtape going just to get their name out. But they're in such a hurry to not make traction. I believe that when it comes to independent music, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon. It's like not a race, a marathon. Because if you post something prematurely, you're going to lose that momentum if you ever had any. But if you take the time and, map it out, now people see that you're trying to do it the right way. You know what I mean? Have you ever had an issue with social media? As far as getting engagement and having people like and subscribe and share.
Of course, I'm actually just now within the last maybe 2 months that I've been on networking apps and actually putting my foot forward and taking the steps. I've had maybe 500 at the max people who even decided to follow, let alone like my pictures. People were not caring about me at all. I had maybe a group of 10 to maybe 13 people who actually followed my music and understood what I was trying to do and actually wanted to support. It wasn't until now where I understand what I need to do, and I understood it's not just about the music, but about a personality and about what you show people and about how you present yourself. Now I'm getting the thousands and thousands of people tuning in, trying to see what I got going on, because I had to sit down and actually figure out what I did wrong. And I don't,
Yeah.
actually, it's not even about what you do wrong, it's just about what you don't do. So I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I had to step up as a father, as a man, as a person, as an artist, and give people what they were looking for.
I hear you. Any tips you want to give to other independent artists out there when it comes to music or social media?
I think my biggest tip was to not change. We look at social media a lot and be like, "Yo, he's doing this, he's popping, he has all the clout, he has this big of a following. I need to do what he's doing." But you don't. You need to see what everybody is doing so you don't do any of it. You need to figure out how they got to where they are and kind of follow the map and build a path for yourself. But you need to figure out what void is still out there. That void, if you complete that void of what's missing, you will go way farther than just getting a clout off somebody else. We like to make music that's already popping, just to be in the conversation and in the rotations on the radio stations, which is cool. But like you said, it's gonna build real fast and it's gonna die fast. But if you figure out that void, if you feel that void and you see what's missing, you go way further than you ever did.
For sure, for sure. No cap. You knew I was gonna say it.
No cap.
All right. Well, we're heading to the end of our interview, but before you go, I just want to ask you some random questions. Now, these are very difficult. You won't be able to phone a friend, you won't be able to Google the answer, and you won't be able to ask the audience. Are you ready?
go.
All right. So first random question is, what was the most unsettling film that you've seen?
No, I do know. He was hip hop. When I was younger, that movie terrified. I don't know what it was about it, but it just had too many details for my young mind at that point. I'm on 24, so when Hills Have Eyes came out, I was still in elementary school.
I get it. All right. Well, next random ass question is, when was the last time you were snooping and you found something you wish you hadn't?
I don't do that. So it's never. I learned my lesson through other people. I've seen them make the mistakes, and I chose not to even go down that route.
Okay, sure. All right, so I got one more for you. What's the funniest actual name you've heard of someone having?
Absidy.
What was it?
Absidy is the funniest name I've ever heard. And it's not about how it sounds, but how it's spelled. It's literally spelled ABCD. Absidy.
What?
That one, I don't think nobody is ever gonna top that.
Okay. Well, I think that would be on my list then. Being a name that the funniest, weirdest name. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Well, all right, Mr. Young Tute, tell everybody where to find your music, man. Because I know you're on Apple Music and all that stuff. Get them.
You can find my music anywhere on Apple Music, on Tidal, on Spotify, on YouTube, not SoundCloud. I almost capped y'all, but no cap. You can get it on Amazon Music or Google Play, or you can follow my social medias and DM me. I'm very down to earth. I will respond to you no matter who you are, and I'll send it to you personally if you need it to.
This is true. Well, Young Tute, you are welcome to come back and hang with us anytime. I know that I got word that Patrick Kearns was in the clubhouse room, and he just gave a big, huge thank you to the LaDonna Ray Show. He said since being on the show and all we did was play his music, his streams went up. So I hope that this happens to all of our guests, that they get more recognition, because that's what this platform is for. More recognition is definitely in the cards, and I wish you the best. I'm so glad that you told everybody how to find you. I'm so glad that now they know where to get the music and listen to the Snapchat version, the uncensored one. Get that one. That's the one that'll get you. But we're playing the clean version on the radio show. However, you can always catch the full version of this interview on YouTube. And where do you find us on YouTube? I'm going to tell you in a minute. But first, I got to thank my man's Young Tute. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging with us at the LaDonna Ray Show.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure being here. This is fun. I love it.
All right, guys, you heard it first right here on the LaDonna Ray Show. We are stepping into the wave of the future with the music. When I say these people have this content that is just so spectacular, I'm not just saying it. I'm saying that I've listened to it, I've read it, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and it is being brought to you by way of our show. So all you got to do is tap in, tune in, and subscribe so that you can have access to it as well, and support these artists, please. That is so important. Support. You can follow us on social media. Just look for the LaDonna Ray Show and subscribe to us on YouTube. Why not? It's just a click. All right, thanks for tuning in. And I'm your girl, LaDonna Ray. And I'll see you next time on the LaDonna Ray Show. I'm out. No cap. Peace.